1 year ago, Amazon launched its first custom all-electric Rivian delivery van. Today, there are thousands on the road. And the organization has a goal of launching 100,000 by the year 2030. To find out more about that, I'm joined today by Tom Champananical, who is the Director of Global Fleet Last Mile. Tom, congratulations on 1 year.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here to share the journey with you.
So tell me a little bit about the timeline here. How many did you initially launch? How many are on the road today?
Yeah, you almost have to take a step back and go back to 3 years ago. 3 years ago, this vehicle that you see here was a sketch on a piece of paper. And it's amazing for anyone who's been in vehicle manufacturing to say a sketch has gone into a vehicle that's out on the road, and we have thousands of them already out there. So it's a great moment for us to be at this point, and the future is looking pretty amazing as we work our way through.
How did you decide on this vehicle? Why Rivian? What was the process for choosing this vehicle?
Yeah, once we set our goals in terms of what we wanted to do for sustainability and where we needed to take our business, we were very clear that we needed to go down the electrification path. We landed at this point where we said we really need a vehicle that fits with our use case and how our drivers go through the process of delivering packages to our customers. And we found a partner through that said they were willing to partner with us on it and build a vehicle from scratch that fit exactly what we wanted to do with it.
Okay, so it's clear you put a ton of thought into this ahead of time, and also you're doing something new. So I'm sure things like unexpected popped up along the way. What's something that you didn't anticipate that ended up becoming like a challenge that you had to overcome at some point?
Yeah, what's interesting about it is, you try to anticipate a bunch of challenges as you enter a space like this. Some of the challenges you're able to solve and you think you've solved them, and they lead to some unintended consequences. In other cases, you find things that you didn't expect to be as big a win that turn out to be a massive win along the way. So I'll try to give an example of each of those. So from a vehicle standpoint, we knew that over-the-air software updates was going to be an available feature for us, and it would be there. What we didn't realize was how much of a benefit it was going to be in other things that the driver interacts with on a day-to-day basis. For example, what we started finding is our drivers get in and out of these vehicles hundreds of times every day as they deliver what we call smiles, but packages to customers. And as they're going through that process, they're having to get out of the vehicle, lock the vehicle, go across, deliver the package, and come back. What we found through our keyless entry was you had to find a really sweet spot in terms of at what distance from the door did they need to be before the vehicle locked, and what distance they needed to be before the vehicle unlocked. And there's a sweet spot in there because you need to take driver safety into account, make sure it doesn't unlock too early, but at the same time not make them wonder whether it's locked or not. And we were able to quickly iterate on it and try out different versions of it and try different spots along the way. And through the process, we were able to get it right into that mold. Whereas if you think about it in a traditional vehicle, you would be iterating on that over and over through hardware changes that you were making, or at least plugging in the fob into a system to make those updates. That's been quite incredible. Things like HVAC system changes that we've had to make as temperatures change, as you work in different environments. You can so customize that driver's experience through it that we found that amazing in terms of a great benefit that we have run into. On the flip side of it, as we've gone through the process of installing thousands of chargers all around parking lots around the country, we have learned a number of things as we've gone through the process. Anytime you dig into the ground, you're always going to find something new, and you never know what you're going to find, and as you go through the permitting process and all of those pieces. But also as you think about the different parts of the charging infrastructure, we have built now a very modular system that we think about as almost Lego bricks, that depending on the environment that you're operating under or the parking lot that you're dealing with, you can fix different pieces together and build out. We're still learning through there. There's a ton more to go as we get them across the network, but that's been one spot where we're constantly iterating with the industry and building from there.
You're further along on this fleet electrification journey than many other companies. If you were starting over again today, what would you do different? What advice do you have for other people following?
One piece that I think we've learned as we've gone through along with it is, we tend to think about battery and range as sort of very much something that you could simulate and just calculate out. The reality of it is it's so driven by the environment that the vehicle is going to operate in, the terrain that it's going to be in, because what you think is a 200-mile range might end up being a 150-mile range in a hot Phoenix summer day, whereas in Minneapolis in that same weather, it might end up being more manageable to get it to work its way through. So having that real world experience and building up through there to know what challenges you might encounter or what routes you want to put these vehicles on is one very important thing that you need to continue to build actual data on. The simulations get us part of the way there, but real world experience of getting vehicles on the road in different weathers with the drivers who'd be driving it is the best teacher.
So how many of these vehicles do you have on the road today?
So we have thousands of the vehicles on the road, and we're marching really fast towards our 100,000 goal through 2030.
All right, so what are some of the things you're thinking about to get from this level you're at today to 100,000?
What we have realized is it takes a village to get this thing going and to get it to scale up to the numbers that we are aiming to scale it to. And we've been thankful to have the partnerships that we've built over time, because it takes a little bit of a leap to make as we go through this. And we have also learned that we have to align to the planning horizons that these different teams have to operate under and these companies have to operate under. So for example, with energy, it's very important to provide a 5-year outlook of saying, here's what we need from an energy standpoint. You can't just wake up 6 months before you need power in there and say, I'm ready, now give me the power. And so that has been a great learning, and we've sort of worked with a number of these utility companies, partnered with a number of other companies in the field as well, to be able to provide them a holistic outlook rather than here's Amazon's outlook, here's everyone else's kind of thing. So that has enabled them to make some of those leaps that we've required. And leaps is what it's taken. It's taken leaps from state government, local government folks to get through some of the permitting and other things that we've got to get done. Utility companies to build both the power generation as well as the transmission that's needed to get there. Transport providers to sort of think through, how do I transport an electric vehicle when all I've done is a gas vehicle all my life along the way. And it's been great to see those partnerships actually blossom and those teams to show the energy and the excitement, as well as the pride with which they have come through on that journey. And every time they see a delivery vehicle, an electric vehicle come in and deliver, they know that they played a part in that journey. So that's been exciting, and we've been thankful for the partnerships that we built to help us scale to that level.
Tell me a little bit more about that driver's experience. How has this transition been for them? Do they like it? What's it like?
We always had drivers coming in, sitting in the vehicle, trying out different things, looking at their range of motions, where they would touch, what they would see.
Let's check it out.
So every part of this vehicle, everything from sort of the moment you walk into the door and those handlebars that you see there to enable 3 points of contact and ensure the safety of the driver. The other piece that's super cool that we get a ton of feedback on is the integration between the driver's sort of work device that shows them where the packages need to be delivered and where they need to go. And this system here, you get to see things like the customer notes, for example, where in this particular case, it says, call me when you're here. And so that as they get into the vehicle, look at their next stop, they can already see what activity they need to do or where they need to go. In addition to that, anytime when they're changing lanes, when they're reversing, they get to see on this big screen sort of a full 360-degree view. They get to see what's behind them. All the safety features that are built in from an ADAS standpoint has been a great accelerant for the team as they go through. There's also a lot of other features in terms of the cool things that we hear around the air-conditioned seats, and when it gets really hot, it's all focused around the driver and being able to get air coming through around them in all of them. I've actually wished I get some of those in my car when I drive them around, but it's super cool in terms of the features that they have and how thoughtful it has been as we've gone through the process. Literally everything in this vehicle has been designed with the driver in mind. You wouldn't believe the amount of hours we spent trying to decide what is the right shelf height for each of these shelves, all the way to features such as the ability to fold these shelves and be able to put the larger packages in there if we needed to. And through it all, one of the things that we focused on was making sure that the drivers had enough space to move around the cabin as they sort of get packages out and move in, or they're using things to move larger packages through the system. So that's been our focus as we've gone through safety, the driver convenience as they go through the day, making it easier for them through every step of that journey of delivering packages, or as we call it, smiles for our customers every day of the week.
Well, Tom, thank you so much for showing us this van. It really is amazing.
Thank you very much. This is an exciting journey for us, and we're glad to share it with you.